Welcome to Author Talk Short. This is a series of Author Talk shorts that we're doing with Charles Breakfield and Rox Berkey, who are the Breakfield and Burkey who write the Enigma book series. And so today we're going to talk to them about some of the things they do for marketing, actually. And I'm very impressed with the ideas that they have. And I have to say, I've never seen anyone else do all the things that you do. I see people do one or two of them, usually one, but I've never seen anyone that does everything that you do. And I know a lot of it is you, Roxanne, that's doing it. And so, with both of you writing the short stories and all that, but how did you get started with doing all of the? And first, let's talk about what are some of the things that you guys do to promote your book.
Well, one of the things we like to be able to do is the competitions. It's good to have your material graded by somebody other than your immediate circle of friends. What we really like is going into these competitions that look like they're handled fairly. They have the categories that we feel like we can compete in, and they're not desperately expensive. We've been very successful at snagging some of the awards, and I think part of that is because that the global nature of the books. Because the R group is based out of Zurich, but cyber threats occur in Australia, North America, Brazil, Luxembourg, Russia, China. So we weave all those locations in to the series, which gives it more of an international flavor. And some of the proof points that we've gotten back, like the Dan Pointer International ebook Award for our book number, was it number 11 or number 10?
We've gotten a couple of awards from that.
Yeah. It's very gratifying to see what we've written graded and awarded for that kind of approach to reading public.
So we also, I guess, initially got started, to be honest, with Texas authors. That was the first competition that we actually put the books into, and we had some success from a series perspective with that one, which was really exciting. So that was a real good positive note. Since then, and Texas Authors migration to Authors Marketing Group or Guild, Authors Marketing Guild, we continued to put individual books into that competition and fared very well for the most part.
Now, one of the things we pick up on, it's not fair to say, oh wow, we get awards every time. There's some places that said, no, here are the things that we think could be improved upon. Disappointing, I admit that, but at the same time, it's like it tends to give you an inflection point saying, can I write this better? Could this been done better? And we think we've actually proved that to ourselves, because we've gone back through the series and done some polishing, starting with book number 1, book number 2, and of course book number 3, because we write better now. That's maybe that's only our opinion, but I feel like we've learned things.
So I think that's great, and I know you guys have done a lot of reviews as well. So you've had your book reviewed, so you get a lot of reviews. Right. But also, one of the ways that you guys get reviews is by doing reviews. So talk about how that gives you visibility, Roxanne, because I know you definitely been one of the ones that I've seen you writing reviews for other books.
And I do, and I actually love that. I've gotten involved with lots of different authors from all over the world, actually. I've had people connect me from LinkedIn and go, can you do a review on my book, please? And so we started a blog specifically for book reviews that were not our books 2 years ago. And so, there are times when I do charge for the reviews. It's not a huge charge, but I want to pay for at least the investment in the the book itself if an author isn't going to send it to me. And so I do. But we do very detailed reviews. And so if possible, we post them on Amazon because, like we all know, their SEO really, really wants to make sure that you've gotten reviews. I try really hard to be honest with the reviews as well. And Charles does interject some book reviews for us because he has some books that he prefers reviewing. So.
That's awesome. So I have seen that. Now I've also seen you do short stories that would either be like one of the backstories from the book or a story about one of the characters that's no longer. So tell me, what about the short stories? How does that work?
It's they're fun instances. What happens is that the big novels, they're usually weigh in at about 80 to 100,000 words, 300 or 400 pages, and they take a lot of time. But there's a lot of time where there's nothing going on. I'm waiting for the editor to come back, the genre editor, the interior. There's a lot of downtime, and we got kind of jazzed by one of the genre reviews that came back and said, I want to know more about this. I want to know more. Where did the R group come from? Where did the original founders, how did they get out of Poland with the Enigma machine? What is that story? And so we thought, oh, okay. We can do, 10 or 15, 25 pages, something like that, turn it into a short story that gives that backstory depth to the overall series. And there's these little fun exercises where, like, okay, we'll write that on that particular topic, and then also submit it into short story competition, which is also helps that polishing effort and our writing skills.
So the short stories is also a stretch for us because when you write novels, you have one focus on how to get from point A to point Z. In a short story, you have to do that in a little tiny living space. And so we do narrow the focus for what we want to write about, but it also, sometimes it makes us write better. I guess the best way to say it, right?
Yeah. Well, the ones that are real tough ones, where there's like 1,500 words, and it's like, I need more pages. I need more words. Doggone it, I'm not finished yet. Rah, 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 rah. So, yeah, those are the gratifying ones when we snag them, because the one that we had the most fun with was they just give you this line and says, make sure your story incorporates this line. So we'll actually build a short story around a simple line, like I noticed the light bouncing off the gangway as I left the plane. All right, wow. What do you do with something like that? I mean, those are the ones that
They're challenging. But that's good for you to be challenged, don't you think?
Absolutely, yeah.
So, we do different kinds of short stories. We kind of do 3,000 to 3,500 for a lot of the standard short story competitions. Certainly America's Authors Marketing Group has short story competitions. We've done them with several different writers groups around Texas and outside of Texas. And there is also some European places where we have posted some to help build a better recognition. It's kind of like having your cereal box on the cereal shelf. You want to have that brand recognition thing going on. And so that helps us expand it. And then I got the brilliant idea that Charles isn't quite bought into, but he's getting closer, to really accumulate all of these short stories and publish an anthology at some point in time. And the reason for that is sometimes when you publish short stories, they have to remain exclusive to whoever got them for X amount of time. It could be for 6 months, it could be for a year before they're released to us and become our property.
Well, and what they do is they basically they'll aggregate a whole bunch of the top stories from that competition and publish it. So that's a good news story because it's their publishing dollars and we get the exposure. So we like that kind of approach. The other thing that we noticed that we didn't count on originally was The short stories allow us to be able to go into different categories. The short stories typically don't go into techno thrillers. They go into women's contemporary fiction or family or
Or romance, because you wrote a romance story as a short story. I remember that one. So
exactly.
yay.
So those are the different areas that we get to practicing. Okay, that's and here's a new category for us to see if we can compete.
In fact,
And
one of the little secrets is in the Enigma Threat, which is right now on pre-order until
thank you. I
January.
was going to make sure we mentioned that. Yes, yes.
Okay, so or January 8th is when it's going to go live, which we would love you to take advantage of the 99-cent pre-order. At the end of the Enigma Threat, we actually have a short story that talks about the early years of Juan and Carlos, which made their first appearance in the Enigma Rising as the bad boys that mom would tell you not to go out with. Amy, you know the kind we're talking about, right? Those bad boys that, whew, and they're wonderful, but boy, are they bad
And
boys.
what makes you think I wouldn't know about the bad boys?
Because I know that you have no
Honestly, if I ever did know about them, it has long been forgotten, I promise you. Okay, so this is great. I love doing this and got lots more topics to talk to you guys about, but we're going to close this one on all of the ideas. So what I want is if you get an idea from listening to Rox and Charles talk about their other things they do to get their book visibility in places or with people they might not on a regular basis know about. So if let us know if you get some ideas, if you have ideas you want to share with Rox and Charles. And thank you again for being with us, Rox and Charles, on this Author Talk Short.
So Sandy, just before we break off this one, I want to make one comment on book competitions, whether they're short stories or full book competitions. And that is be careful that you have a couple of other people that know it's a legitimate competition. Because I know folks have fallen victim to buying and paying for a competition and they get nothing back. So, bounce it off of us or bounce it off of you guys to vet them in case they aren't up and up.
Yeah.
Or come visit us on Through the Eyes of Authors, and you can ask in that group, and we'll be glad to research it for you. So thanks again, Rox and Charles. We'll see you on the next Author Talk Short.
Thank you.
Ladies.